Okay, 622. Let's begin. So we're holding the shaila is there were several questions. One that's been answered, but actually questions in summary, not all answered, only one. One is that there's an integral contradiction. Elo means the Alter Rebbe, and then says that Lidodi is Elo, not Lidodi is Hashem Yom Kippur. Then the shaila is that Rebbe's Moishe is all about the king, save upon him Yofos, upon him Sheichekos. So that would lead one to conclude that the Avodah of Elul is Ava. But as the Torah explains, the reason we blow shofar is to arouse yirah and charada and trembling. How are the two reconciled? So that was essentially reconciled by saying that the going out to the field by the people of the city is an expression of Kabbalist oil and yirah. So that's essentially answered. Still to be answered is the Ava of Elul and the blowing of the shofar throughout Elul. Also to be answered is that we blow shofar Rosh Hashanah so the shaila was the Alter Rebbe said that the reason that we blow shofar El is to induce bittul, and bittul is the keli to be mamshich that oir which can fill the blemishes and the gaps and the holes that are affected through Avedas. The makif, the transcendent level, the keli for a transcendent level is not another keli. The keli for a pnimisdik level is a keli. On the contrary, a isgarbat a keli, a refined keli. But a keli for that which is makif is no keli at all. It's getting out of the way completely. It's bittul. And hence, Baltreb explained that's one of the reasons. Some tzedek Baltreb gives the two reasons. So that's one of the reasons we blow the shofar. Elul, this reduce this humility in bittul. That's the keli for what? For the kapara, the atonement that comes from this makif. Put this in words. The atonement comes, what's that kapara? The kapara comes against all logic. You violated, you're given the rules, you were given the koyach to carry out the rules, given all the tools you need, and you violated it. You wasted the koyach given to you, you wasted your time, you wasted your life, you hurt someone else in the process, in all likelihood. Not actually, you did, you made the world a darker place, everybody was hurt through your Aveda. So logically, you're given a recipe, you didn't follow it, this is a failure, and that's the end of the story. Next reincarnation, we'll try better. This is done. And yet, the kapara retroactively cleans the past. It's one thing to let go of it, okay, you learned your lesson, won't hold you life, won't throw you into jail, but the damage is done. The damage is done. Can't change that, but yes, it is changed. The makif of Yom Kippur Rosh Hashanah is transcendent, legal revelation of Hashem's love. What does it do? It fixes even the past. So what's the keli for that? Basically, it's like Hashem was saying, you messed up. The person is going to come along and say, no, but I'm worthy now. Fix myself. That's a keli. That's a primis dikir. Pointing to all of his fine mitzvahs and the good things he's doing now. So that's not, first of all, that's true. Can't change your past. What's going to change your past is to get out of the way. Come the broken bittul and make room. Just break the boundaries. Open up so it can go back because of the Gashmi. So you open, no Keli. Keli restrains it. We're looking at you, you're here and now. You're here and now, okay, fine. Your past we can't change. Yet the Makif fixes the past. The gaps, the holes. Mitzvahs that I failed to do. The mitzvahs that I failed to do. How can that possibly be rectified? It's not by presenting now a worthy Keli. Good, that's from now going forward at best, but can't change the past. What's the Keli in quotations, to fix the past, is when you break your own boundaries. That's bittul. Oh, finished, just completely open, so there's no hakbala, there's no limit with you. So you've made the Keli to redeem your own past because you're open. There's no boundaries. You're like this, so you'll get like this. If you're open, then the love spills, the past, the future, no limit. Keli for the Makiv is bittul. Makiv can't get into a cave. What's it? Makiv Bligvol can't get into the Gvul. Bligvol can't fit into the Gvul. In Mamshech, the Bligvol, it's pshitus. It's no boundaries. Bittul. Not coming with any entitlement. I deserve it now. I change. I'm a good boy. Forgive me. It's not why he comes. He comes with complete bittul of Eibishter. All I can say is I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's bittul, as opposed to I now am worthy of a good boy. So forgive me. Forgive me because of my virtues? No. Forgive me because you're wonderful. That's why I forgive. So the focus on you're wonderful is not my achievement. That's what the bittul means. Integral to that is also the sense of shame. Shame is bittul, that opens him up, and that's the keli for the makif, that's the keli for Shalom and Kippur. Is that clear? So the Rebbe Shaila is but the bittul of Rosh Hashanah is even a greater bittul. Shrefa of Rosh Hashanah. What do we need the shrefa of Elul for? So this is the answer, because in order to get to Yudi law, there has to be the Tator. You can't jump to Yudi law to this greater bittul. There's got to be a lower bittul. Now, what's the lower bittul? I start to explain it. It's down. What's in between Yudi Tator and Yudi law? Someone tell me. Look at it.
Bittul Yesh.
Okay, good. English.
Which means that his zeros from the greatness of Hashem. That's relating that there's a world.
Right. So the first now tied into the whole the way it framed it just now. We do that. The last 5 minutes I spoke. What is this bittul? This is talking the first bittul of what?
True.
So what they define this tshuva in the language I just, the way I explained it now.
That he's something that had, let's say, a broken past, and he's saying that he changed, he fixed.
He's saying, yeah, he's remorseful. He's looking to catch the bittul. He's remorseful. I messed up.
Right.
That's the first thing. This is not the same as I'm now worthy.
Right.
It's not. This is yira. This is not.
This is bittul.
This is bittul. But what's the nature of the bittul is I'm a miserable failure. I messed up. It's inexcusable. I had all the kaifas, I had all the inspiration, everything I needed to, and I just ignored it all and went along my merry way. So that's the first bit. That's yira. That bittul yesh. Then comes bittul. What's bittul of mitzias yira? That's Rosh Hashanah. It's a big shift from I messed up to in the language you just used in the last few minutes. I failed you. I could have done this to you. Because I failed. The lower thing, the lower bittul. And you can't get to the higher bittul how did I do this to you before there's the understanding of how I messed up. You're taking responsibility in that sense. It's integral. And then the altruistic people can follow. I failed you. How could I have done it to you? Before the it, how could I have done it to you? What did you do? You got to honestly face that. Now that I face what I honestly did, then the next thing is, I did this to you. That's the bittul of Rosh Hashanah. That's the Yiri Yilo.
And how does that tie into what we said last year? Bittul Metzias is he doesn't even feel that he's bittul. There's no I'm bittul. There's no the yesh is now, but there's not even
because
that
the whole emphasis is you. There's dargis and dargis, but the big shift here is you. The highest darga is we're speaking about Mesiras Nefesh. Here it's the concept of tshuva. Tshuva is obviously the element of self has to remain forever in tshuva. I'm doing tshuva, so there has to be. What I spoke last week was bitten Metzias as it is in Mesiras Nefesh. But it's all one general Indian. I mean, this guy holding by bitten Metzias Bachal. He's not, his whole life is tshuva alone. It's holding Bachal like this. And let's put that, not put it aside. It is, the connection, answer to your question is that in both cases, the primary emphasis is you. True, in Yiri law, it's how could I have done this to you? And Mesiras Nefesh is just more, it's even higher than it's tied to true. Someone holding that dagger doesn't mess up. Okay, so clear now. Fellows, I've asked you at the beginning of this year later. This was a very important Akdoma explanation to why Yira Ilah Tata is integral to Yira Ilah. Therefore, the Shofar of Rosh Hashanah is not enough. Okay, Yesh Loimar. We finished the first paragraph of his Dalit. No. Yeah. We did. We did law is the Melech Beicham Malchusa. And Yiri Ilah is because of the king's revelation. So Rosh Hashanah, in other words, in Rosh Hashanah, the Jew is struck by the days of war. The day itself lifts into, how could you have done this to God? The day itself lifts him, which is Beicham Malchusa. The Maila of the Yida Tata is Melech Basaden, you can ignore them altogether. And at the same time, Melech HaMelech, and you've got to leave, there's got to be the Yitzhiyah, the Kabbalah Soil. The Maila of Elul is the Melech Mamish, the Avodah of Vilamata L'Mayla. But Rosh Hashanah is where the Gili of the Reimus, they're in the Social L'Mayla, that's in that, you're in the Heicham Malchusa. That is a bittul Metzias staka, but only as a result of first the bittul the yira of Elul, which we explained at the beginning of the shir. Okay, Yesh Loimar. Continuing now, where is Dalit? Yeah. This that we have to blow the shofar Rosh Hashanah. They started. They love Yiri in order to reach Yiri Ilah. Now the question is, he just said that the day itself is the Gilui of Malchusa. So why is that not enough? The day itself induces this, oh, how could I have done this to you? Even despite the fact that that's the time of the revelation of his majesty. So why do we need to blow the shofar? Questions clear? Question? Elaborating on the question, Rosh Hashanah itself already made on this day, God is revealed beyond creator. The Melech Batzmusa. So why do you have to blow shofar? The whole world is trembling before the shofar is sounded. From candle lighting of Rosh Hashanah Eve, it's already the world is in a state of complete, is quaking in the face of Pshat level, Yom Adin. But the deeper level of the Yom Adin is the Gila of the Rabbi Masaveir himself. How does that jive with Yom Adin, all these wonderful things we're learning now? The rest of the world is pretty simple. You judge your own trial, that's it, close to trembling. Here we're talking of trembling, it's beyond the Yid Tata, this is Yid Yillah, the Rebbe of the Melech, this Galus Malchusi is Baruch. What's it got to do with judgment? Judgment.
Also Avinu Malkim. A king is also Yid's father.
So father doesn't judge. Father loves you unconditionally. You ever experienced Rosh Hashanah before? In your life? Stop. Yeah. So I'm asking you, what is this Yom Adin business? The whole thing is everything you're learning Chassidus. That does it fit with the machzor, page after page?
Because once you accept his malchut, you have to do that.
Okay, well, leave it on that. It's not, I'm just throwing this in here, it's just something should we think about what's going on. So the shaila now is, let's go back to the mind. So the shaila now is, why are we blowing? What's the question? What was the question? This question.
Why do you need to blow the shofar?
Why do you have to blow the shofar Rosh Hashanah in order to induce what?
The Yirei Lot, it's already there.
It's there by the nature of the day. Man is Galus Malchusi is but. Who answer? The answer is this. Time is one of the coordinates that make up our world. And hence, if we're saying this is a time where God's majesty is revealed, then what level of majesty are we relating to? Are we talking about? It's talk of the Reimemus of Eid himself, but it's Shaykh to Eilumus. How does it fix with this? How does it jive with the previous Maimer? The second level of Eid, which is Maimer Islam, the beget Islam. Yeah. So the day itself is not the pure revelation of his exalted majesty, because if it's happening on this day, then by nature, this day comes along on the calendar without doing any mitzvah. His majesty is revealed. It means what level of majesty, taka lofty and exalted, but related to time, because the time has what? Has invited it, or it's revealed in this time. So we got to blow shofar because we got to touch and reveal the Eibush to deep. But to reveal the pnimius of the Eid itself, as God is utterly removed from creation. That no time coming along connects to. Rather, will be ikar de mitzvahs, and need a divine command to make that possible. Asher kedishanu b'mitzvahs, you sanctified us with His commandments. You granted us this ability by carrying out your will and blowing shofar. That's what reveals you, pnimius of the reimus of it itself. Answer is clear. Time, day can't affect it, even though it's an auspicious day. But the mitzvah. Now I got a question. The day of Rosh Hashanah that just comes by itself, also no. Who determined the day of Rosh Hashanah?
President.
The Bezdin. So even Rosh Hashanah also comes through a mitzvah, and it's a mitzvah for the Bezdin to Mekadesh, set the calendar, Mekadesh the month. So l'chura, it is a mitzvah. Even Rosh Hashanah is a mitzvah day. It's determined by Bezdin. Good question. What do you think the answer is? I'm thinking the answer.
It's a mitzvah, but shaykh is man.
Oh.
It doesn't change the.
Yeah, it's not a mitzvah, but it's all based on calculations and the moon's cycle. So it's all linked to Zman. Even though the Bezdin overrides Zman sometimes for whatever calculations it has, but even those calculations are all Zman calculations also. The time should fit, whatever the cheshbon is at. At the end of the day, it's all, yeah, good, okay. Well, just an aside. Either the question is correct and the answer is correct, or it's not. So what are the answer? The answer in the mind is why do we have to blow shofar? We need the mitzvah because this man itself only would connect to the revelation of God's majesty related to the world. It's a quasi, like it's not exactly creator. So he said it's the reignness of himself. But it's a level that is shy to creator. Now we can explain that, but we'll leave it. But to touch the pure God, Abish to beyond creator completely, only a mitzvah can do that because he commands it. By this you connect to me, then it works. Take a ram's horn. Wouldn't come with such an idea. Take a ram's horn and blow it. It's a ram's horn. But since the Abish said take a ram's horn and blow it, because he commands it, so this is the connection. Let's continue. All getting to Elul. Elul is no mitzvah. He's telling where he's going now. He's going to go to therefore Elul is less than. Yeah, and Elul, the shofar is going to be more than. And the reminder. Imagine that the shofar of Elul is even more than the shofar of Rosh Hashanah. The milah of but let's see. But now explaining the mile of the mitzvah of what? Of the shofar Rosh Hashanah. The kivin should get shofar Rosh Hashanah mitzvah. Since the blowing of the shofar Rosh Hashanah is a mitzvah, therefore the fear, the trembling that the shofar induces, that's absolute bittul, that's the high. And Pasha, like I just said, when the white man takes a ram's horn on this holy day, playing with the ram's, blowing the ram's horn, God wouldn't command it to be a desecration. So why? It's because Abish should command it. That person, he approaches this with tremendous bittul. Why are we doing this? It's not the way that we would express our allegiance to God. We see it's a divine commandment. Take the shofar, the ram's horn, and blow, and this sound and that sound. So that there's this mitzvah is pearled by a yid, in addition to the awesomeness of the day, the high, actually it's high holy days, not high holidays. It's not more, they said, I don't know who did when it started. It's not a holiday. It's a holy day. The wine. The high holy day, that's really the correct way. And a regular Yom Tov is a holy day, not a holiday. Yom Kippur is the high holy day. So what induces the high holy day? It's not just the day, but the shofar, the mitzvah. Now, now we're going to add even more explanation. Shayira. Shahir Rabbi Mikol Shofar the Elul is now understand. This is the Elul Shofar is much less, fundamentally less. So we're adding further why the mile of the Shofar of Rosh Hashanah and why we need to blow it then, because the Shofar of Elul is the lower Yira, because it's not even a commandment. It's a minute. The reason that the shofar of Shoshana brings this intense, deep, or bittul mitzias, complete bittul yiri lo mitzad mitzvah tkiyah shofar, because you're engaged in something that's purely divine. God commanded it, and with the commandment comes the tzavtzah b'chibur, the connection. But the tkiyah shofar be'elu ain't a mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah. We don't say we blow shofar Elul. You sanctified us with His commandments to blow shofar. It's a custom. Therefore, it cannot induce such a high yira, because it's not a commandment. And it's born from who? From the Jew. So that's by definition, bittul hayesh. It's an expression of my surrender to you. My charata, my yira tata. The lower level.
Did we separate the mitzvah of shofar from the concept of where the king is? Meaning to say that before we just said that the king is in his palace,
and we are there in the palace.
Yeah.
We are there in the
palace.
palace.
The mitzvah of shofar.
What?
Then there's the mitzvah of
yeah.
Then he commands us to do anything. I'm trying to see, did we split the mitzvah of shofar from this melech, the marshal of the melech, or they're connected? Because the king.
No, it's kind of split. You know.
Even if we didn't speak about the king and
the king in the palace is the zman of Rosh Hashanah.
And therefore we have a mitzvah of shofar. That's what I'm trying to understand. The fact that we blow the shofar is connected to the fact that he's in his state of...
right, and he wants us to connect him in the deepest way. So it's not enough that we are there in the palace, in this tremendous awe that we are not like in the field. The king wants us to connect to his pnimius, commands us to blow the shofar. And that lifts the yira to a whole new level. It deepens the yira.
The fact that he's in the field is it connected also that we don't say Shah Kiddushan?
He's not in Hechem Balchus. We don't say Shah
That's what Iratata. I'm saying, before we said that Iratata was because the king is in the field, right? So not in it.
Right.
And now we're saying also we blow the shofar, we don't say Shah Kiddushan.
So what kind
also because he's in the field?
We're blowing the shofar. The blowing of the shofar is the expression of our connection to the king. The expression of Yira Tata, it's really, just to differentiate, it's going out of the field. The Yitzhiyah from he said it in one line, the Maimon has to be explained still. Leaving such strange thing in the Moshel, he doesn't ask the question, but elsewhere the Rabbi does ask the question. The whole Moshel, everything's inverted. The Rebbe has the Moshel like this. King in the field, and the people going from the city to greet him. And then the whole Moshel, right? It's the opposite. The people in the field. The king is in the palace, and the king goes. There's a time, and the king goes to the field. Understand? The whole Moshel is in. The scene opens up in Al Rebbe's Moshel. Melech Basada. People leave, go and greet him. He receives the Lord's smiling countenance. They go back to the palace. Everybody's in the wrong place. The Moshe should begin with people in the field, not in the city. And then we see the king leave the palace and come to the people in this extraordinary moment of divine grace. So elsewhere it's a different beer, but here the Rebbe gave a beer because the people leaving the palace is Kabbalah's oil. That's a tnu of Kabbalah's oil because you can ignore the king. He's not engendering this awe. You can even notice it because he doesn't come with his whole entourage. There's got to be this tnu of Kabbalah's oil. The blowing of the shofar is the expression of this Kabbalah's oil. It's a minhag. The minhag expresses the state of the Jew, his Kabbalah's oil, to receive the king and connect him, even though it's not an awesome time. The awesome time starts Rosh Hashanah. Then we go back into the palace. That is the time of Rosh Hashanah. And now our awe is now, wow, the king in his splendor. The king says, still didn't touch me. Mitzvah blow shofar, you touch my pneumius. Then the emissary was the pneumius of the Eibishter beyond even the awesomeness of the palace. The pneumius of all of that is touched by the mitzvah of shofar. So to answer your question, I'm glad you asked it because it's holding it for us. The blowing of the shofar Elul is the expression of our Kabbalah's oil, our Yidatata, our connecting to the king, knowing that he's there, even though he's not pulling from us this awe because he's just like everybody else, but knowing that the king is there and Kabbalah's oil, leaving my state. Didn't explain why you're leaving the city, but leaving my state, he did explain the other day. At any rate, and connecting to the king. And the shofar's expression of that. It's not commanded. It's the natural expression of the Kabbalah's oil. It's the same thing. The Kabbalah's oil of a Yid of Rosh Hashanah, of Elul. Is that somewhat clear?
Yeah.
All right. Let's conclude here. Now, Elosh Achal Pikit. So just when you're saying that the shofar of Rosh Hashanah Elul is less than, it's fundamentally less than the shofar of Rosh Hashanah, but that's a mitzvah, and the mitzvah of Rosh Hashanah is what connects us, mamish, to Pnimius of the Eibush, as it were. Whereas the shofar of Rosh Hashanah of Elul is a Kabbalah's oil expression, and then there's the third level, the Zman, that kicks in on Rosh Hashanah itself. That's being in the Heichel. Clear? So 3 matzovim here. There's 3 matzovim. There's Elul, but there's 4. There's pre-Elul. Finished. Pre-Elul, regular. King's not buried on the field. So then there's Elul, where the king is in the field, but that is not awe-inspiring. It requires your Kabbalah's oil to connect. And lo and behold, he's so accessible and a smiling face, all that to be explained soon. So that's Elul, and that's expressed by the spontaneous minhag, not commandment, of blowing shofar in Elul, expressing our yidatata, our Kabbalah's oil, our willingness to change, our acknowledgement that we've got to change, we've got to improve. It's all Elul. Then comes Rosh Hashanah, the king, come with me into the palace. We come to the palace and now all the king is a whole new level. But that's induced by the palace and by my experience of it, that's still limited. Then in the palace, the king commands us, blow shofar, because it's his commandment. Then we touch the pnimius of the king. That's the emissary year, you love bittul b'mitzias. We're explaining everything again, but that's the broad brush strokes. So clear? Yeah. Okay, Elosh Achal Pikit will begin Be'ez Hashem tomorrow.